Welcome to Rowdy and Real with me, Sophie Shaw, therapist, well-being coach and slight loose cannon. I'll be sharing some life lessons and wisdom from the real world. If nothing else, it'll take your mind off your problems for a bit. And if we're really lucky, you might even hear something that helps you to make it better. So stick around for real talk, real growth, and some probable bad language. Let's dive in, shall we? Hello, my love. Welcome back. Or if this is your first time here, welcome. Get yourself nice and comfy, pull up a chair, get a cup of tea. I mean, not if you're driving, obviously. If you're driving, keep your eyes on the road and just focus on what you're doing, please. I don't want to be responsible for any accidents. How's the weather where you are? I mean, that's a very British way to start the conversation, isn't it? Talking about the weather. It's grey and cold and rainy here. Not my favourite, I got to admit. I am a lover of the light, the blue skies, the sunshine. I don't really mind about the temperature just so long as it's light. So that means that this kind of autumnal, wintry time of year is a challenge. It's a bad weather day. And I use that term deliberately because one of my absolutely gorgeous clients the other day was having what I would call a bad weather day. Not necessarily about the actual weather, but it's, one of those days where you lose sight of the dream. You lose sight of the hope that accompanied the dream. You just feel crap. Everything sucks. Inspiration leaves you. Everything feels like an effort. You're exhausted. You just want to give up. You want to go to bed. I get those days. I'm sure you do too. And, that's absolutely okay. It is completely normal to have seasonal days, regardless of the actual weather. The weather is within you. It's within your mind and within your energy. And it's absolutely normal to have seasons, to have cycles, to have days where you just think, oh, bollocks to everything. It's all shit and I don't want to play anymore. That's normal. We all have those days. Sometimes we have those weeks. Listen. Sometimes we have those months. It's okay. It's just totally normal. The reason I call them bad weather days is just to remind myself they're temporary. They are passing. Okay, I mean, intellectually, in my head, I know they don't last. But, when you're in the slump, when you're in the pit and the funk has really landed, it can feel like it's never going to lift. And this is the annoying thing about being in the slump. The last thing that you feel like doing is, anything. Even if it's good for you, even if it will lift your mood, even if it will make you happier and it will give you a bit of energy, you just don't want to do it. I get that. And again, that's okay. I mean, really, it is okay. Sometimes you just have to say, fuck it. It's raining. I'm staying in. Surrender. Sometimes you just have to surrender to what is. But don't give up. And there is a difference. Even though they may sound like the same thing, they may even feel like the same thing, there is a huge difference between surrendering and giving up. What is that difference? Well, let me offer you some guidance. The main difference between surrendering and giving up is that giving up implies you're stuck, you're not moving forward, you're going to stay there. And giving up is something that you usually do when you've run out of options. You've got no choice. Surrender, on the other hand, is more about making a conscious, compassionate, deliberate choice to accept circumstances as they are, to go with them. And with surrender, the understanding is you're not going to stay there forever. Okay, so if it's raining and you're not going out, you're not going to go inside, set up camp and resolve never ever to leave your house again, obviously. It's not either or. It's not sink or swim. It's not life or death. Okay, you can have a day off. You're allowed. You are allowed to surrender to your feelings. You can sulk. You can sleep. You can get nothing done. In fact, if necessary, I actually encourage it, just for a bit, okay? That's the important thing. Now, I know that a lot of coaches who encourage you to feel your feelings will do so within the framework of kind of keeping you small, keeping you stuck in the state that you're in. That's not what we're doing. But actually, so many of my clients are resisting their feelings, spending so much of their lives being positive or trying to push through or getting on with things that instead of choosing to surrender, they eventually get forced to give up. And it feels very, very different, very disempowering. Surrendering is empowering. It's a self-loving and empowering choice to say, I'm going to take care of my needs today. And sometimes those needs are doing nothing, sitting around, slumping, watching a movie, appearing to the outside world to be lazy. And as I say, if that's what you need, then I'm going to encourage that for a bit. And then, my love, you will need to move again, because obviously there is a very delicate balancing act between self-care and self-indulgence, between, resting under a blanket or hiding under the duvet. Can you feel the difference between those two states? Now, if you are not used to letting yourself off the hook from time to time, this balance is going to be a little bit tricky for you to begin with. If you're not used to meeting your needs and caring for yourself, it's going to feel like laziness, okay? You'll either push yourself to keep going, be intolerant of your bad mood, tell yourself to pull yourself together. And by the way, that's a really, really good way to burn out completely. So keep hold of my details because you'll need me. Or you will be forced to give in because you have to. And then what happens is inevitably you'll collapse into total inactivity or illness or injury. And then you'll find it 50 times harder to get going again. So in an actual fact, I think that is the real choice. It's either rest now for a little bit or drop later for a lot longer. That's the choice that I see my clients wrestling with. And usually they come to me in a state of having dropped, of being burnt out. And it just takes that much longer to get yourself built back up again. So just remember that it doesn't actually matter whether you're resting or moving. You're still on your path. Keeping your head in the game doesn't necessarily mean that you're always on the pitch. Sometimes you're training. Sometimes you're getting a massage. Sometimes you're benched while you heal. And sometimes you're tearing hell for leather towards the goal. That's a sporting analogy in case you missed it. I don't follow sports at all. Not my natural idiom at all. So just go with it. What I'm saying is there is a natural ebb and flow to all things. There are seasons and cycles. It's all part of the game, and you are still playing. So do surrender, yes. Do surrender and accept and take care of yourself in that surrender. But don't give up. As the end of the year starts to draw closer, there is this kind of temptation, particularly in the Northern Hemisphere where we're heading into colder weather and dark. There is this temptation to just walk away and say, oh, bollocks to it. I'll do better next year. And, hide inside and hibernate and give up on all of your goals. Let me please just persuade you to not do that. Instead, just take a break. Take a nap, eat a meal, get a shower. Tomorrow is another day. Rest today if you need to. But please don't quit on the rest of the year, okay? There's a whole lot of year left. And please don't quit on the rest of your dream. Because after all, it's just bad weather and it will pass. And wouldn't it be absolutely fucking great to end this year on a high? Or end this week on a high? Or end this day on a high? It is absolutely possible. There is still a lot of the day left, a lot of the week left, a lot of the year left. It's not over yet. And also remember that these kind of measurements of time are completely arbitrary and made up. They don't apply to everybody, and they don't need to apply to you. So keep your hope alive. Keep your dreams alive. Surround yourself with people who also believe in it. I believe in it. I believe in you. And surround yourself with people who are keeping their dreams alive too. Stay open to inspiration. But while you're doing that, go take a break. Have a rest. All right? Have a cup of tea and a biscuit on me. I'm sending you lots and lots of love till next time. See you soon. Thanks for listening to Rowdy and Real with me, Sophie Shaw. If you'd like to stay in touch, then please visit norwichtherapy.co.uk and join the mailing list to receive a gorgeous free meditation straight into your inbox. And if you'd like to chat with me about your stuff, then please book yourself a free 30-minute call at sophieshaw.as.me/free call, and we'll start making a plan for your happiness. This podcast is intended for educational and vaguely entertaining purposes and is not a replacement for counselling, psychotherapy or coaching. Please take responsibility for your mental health and ask for the help you need. You're fabulous and you deserve to be happy. Bye.